welcome back to our home and welcome back to Memory Mondays.
Yep, you'll remember each week we are going to follow the New City Catechism, and that is basically a collection of 52 questions, all in various issues related to the Christian faith and parts of what the church believes and teaches about what is true. And so this week we are on week 2, and the question is a short question, but it's a question that has massive, profound significance in its answer. And that is because the question is, what is God? And that question, what is God, is a question that people have struggled with basically since the dawning of mankind. And so theologians and philosophers have struggled with the answer to that question. People have fought and died and waged war against each other in defense of what they believe to be true when they're answering that question, what is God? I'm reminded when we're thinking about a question like that, I'm reminded by something Rick Warren talks about. And he basically says, when we're thinking about things like eternity and God and the infinite nature of God, it's a little bit like, for us to understand that, is a little bit like trying to explain the internet to an ant. And where would you start trying to get an ant to understand what the internet is like? It'd be a pretty hard job. And likewise, for us to understand something like what God is like, it's a little bit difficult, to say the least, because we're trying to understand what an infinite, eternal creator is like, but we've only got finite minds. So even a definition that we're going to listen to this week isn't going to be perfect. It's never going to be able to completely sum up what God is like using mere words. But hey, let's give it a go. This is the definition that the New City Catechism gives, and it's one that I really love, and I hope you've enjoyed memorizing it like I have. But let's see if I can do it justice just now. So the question is, what is God? And the answer is, God is the creator and the sustainer of everyone and everything. He is eternal, infinite, and unchangeable in his power and perfection, his goodness and glory, his wisdom, justice, and truth. Nothing exists or happens except by him and through his will. I think I maybe added a few extra words in there.
I think that was word for word.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. My hand washing for holiness is obviously doing the job. But it's such a difficult thing to sum up what is God in a short, snappy sentence. And it made me think, just a follow-on thought after answering what is God through the catechism. It made me think, yes, we can learn about what God is through theologians and through snappy answers like that. But if you really want to understand what God's like, the best way to do it is get to know him. Our God isn't some distant, far-off creator who doesn't want anything to do with us. Our God is a very personal God. Not only does he want to connect with you in a relationship, but through Jesus and his Holy Spirit, God comes and dwells inside you. So the power that exists in God is one that isn't external, it's an internal thing, that when you become born again, then his Holy Spirit comes and lives inside you, and it gives you power over sin. It gives you power over darkness and death. And that's awesome. God is amazing. In Colossians 2, it says that Jesus, essentially, everything of God rests upon Jesus in bodily form. So hey, if you're really wanting to understand that question about what is God, then yes, learn the catechism, read books, do all those things, read the Bible. If you really want to get the best answer possible to that question, get to know Jesus himself. He is the answer to that question. What is God? We can look to Jesus for who God is, how he behaves, his character and nature, which is wonderful news.
Thanks for joining us this week. We hope you've enjoyed the catechism. Next week's question 3, is how many persons are there in God? We'll see you next week.
See you guys.